Hi, hello. Today I am back with 7 summer drinks. They're all incredibly easy to make, refreshing, delicious, unique. A lot of them are inspired by different viral recipes I've saved over the past few weeks, as well as drinks from different countries, which is cool. Even though I am going to be tweaking the ideas a bit here and there, putting my own spin on them, so they're not necessarily going to be the most traditional. Also, the video is brought to you by Sally. Alright, so drink number 1 on the list would be a cold brew slushy. If you're currently experiencing heatwave conditions, then this is the perfect coffee for you. Prepare the cold brew ahead of time. Grab a big jar, add the coffee, ideally coarse coffee grounds. There's different ratios for different people, but I like to do half a cup of coffee and a little over 2 cups of water. I didn't have a lid, and put this into the fridge for at least 8 hours and up to 12. Strain the coffee, and there you have your cold brew. Divide the coffee between 2 small Ziploc bags. You know, the ones you need for airport security. And in the videos, they would always have them lay flat, like this, in the freezer. Allow them to freeze for 2 hours. Either crunch up the bag with your hands. I also found it really helpful to use like a wooden spoon or spatula to slap these with. Now, if you freeze the coffee until solid, you'll have to let the bag thaw a little bit. Depending on the temperature in your kitchen, this might take anywhere from 10 to 30 minutes. Serve the cold brew however you prefer. I would just do a little bit of oat milk. You could add some syrups or some spices like vanilla, cinnamon. Super yummy, very simple. Try it for yourself. I've been seeing and saving tons of videos on Brazilian limeade and Brazilian coconut drinks, and so I wanted to contribute a version here. Grab a blender and add 1.5 limes with the skin on, cut into quarters, plus a cup of water. Blend this up for maybe 20 to 30 seconds. The longer you allow this to blend, the more bitter your drink will get, so. Now strain the lime pulp and return the liquid to the blender alongside some low-fat coconut milk, brown sugar, pinch of salt, and not pictured, but I eventually also added a bit of agave syrup to adjust the sweetness a bit. And then serve with lots of ice, perhaps some additional lime for decoration, and there you go. The flavor is so nice. It has got quite an intense lime flavor, so you've got like equal amounts of tartness, bitterness, sweetness. On to what has to be my new favorite way to drink matcha. It's inspired by kagigori, or Japanese shaved ice, or bingsu would be the Korean version. If you've seen my Japan vlog, you'll remember the vegan shaved ice that we tried. It was unbelievable. Overall, vegan food was surprisingly easy to find in Japan, and what helped make this trip even easier was today's sponsor, Sally. Sally is a super simple and reliable eSIM app that helps you stay connected in over 200 countries around the world. Using my regular phone plan in Japan would have gotten insanely expensive, and trying to find the right physical SIM at the airport would have just been stressful and confusing, so luckily I had my eSIM ready to go. And Sally is super easy to set up. You simply download the app, either with airport Wi-Fi or do it beforehand, and then you pick the country that you're traveling to, how much data you want and need, and follow the remaining steps on screen to activate the SIM in minutes. Not only do you now have data on your trip, but you're also getting advanced digital security from the eSIM app itself. Before I started using eSIMs, I would just naively have my data roaming on while traveling and be charged so much money coming back. So I definitely wish I would have gotten into those sooner. But now, to save even more money, you can use the code MINAROAMDEAL or go to saley.com/MinaRomeDeal for an exclusive 15% discount on all Saley data plans. Thank you, Saley, for sponsoring, and now let's get back to our drinks. This recipe starts with preparing the sweetened condensed oat milk, which the condensed milk you can use in all sorts of recipes. You could make Vietnamese iced coffee with it, put it on ice cream, put it on smoothie bowls, yogurt bowls. In a medium saucepan, combine barista oat milk, sugar, salt, and a bit of vanilla. Give this a good stir and bring this mixture up to a quick boil. Then immediately reduce the heat to low. Make sure this doesn't boil over and allow it to simmer on low for about 30 to 40 minutes. The color of this is going to darken quite a bit and the entire liquid should reduce by about half. Now let the milk cool down fully. It is going to thicken up as it cools down as well, and then you can store this sealed in the fridge for a week-ish. Second component of the drink is going to be a simple matcha shot. So we're combining a teaspoon of matcha with about 1/4 cup of lukewarm water and just a little bit of agave syrup, but that's optional. Now the shaved ice I'm creating by simply blending up some ice cubes in my little smoothie maker here. 2 pulses was enough, so you don't want to overblend it. And then it's time to assemble. The ice goes in first, then a generous drizzle of the condensed milk. How much you're adding here is up to you and your desired levels of sweetness. I did 5 teaspoons, which amounts to a little over 2 tablespoons. Then I'm adding some strawberries, the matcha shot. I like a sweet matcha that's not too milky, and so I think this is perfect for my personal taste buds, and it reminded me so much of what we had in Enoshima. This next drink I'm gonna be making for myself all summer and beyond. This is a super simple but insanely delicious orange ice latte. You basically just need a few large slices of orange peel, maybe 3 to 5 pieces. Add those to your cup together with 1 teaspoon of brown sugar. Also, excuse the pan in the back, that was my breakfast. Pour 2 shots of espresso over the orange and sugar and allow this to sit for at least 10 minutes or until it's cooled down fully and the sugar has fully dissolved. So I let this sit for like 20-25 minutes while doing other stuff. And now fill your glass with ice, a milk of your choosing. I'm going for oat milk barista, and I usually like to do 2/3 or 3/4 of a cup of the milk plus the orange espresso. It's so simple, but so good. Also can be made during fall and winter because of the orangey flavor. Yum. Recently, I've been seeing carrot float make the rounds on social media. It's this super simple Persian dessert drink, and it sounded too interesting for me not to give it a try. So the most basic version of this really is just vanilla ice cream and carrot juice. So here on my first attempt, I did 2 scoops of ice cream and maybe 2/3 of a cup of juice. I also added some walnuts on top and cinnamon, turning this into a carrot cake float, maybe? A lot of people said to like mix it up a little bit, so it's almost milkshake consistency, but not quite. I don't know if I like it or not. I think my personal ideal ratio of this would be a lot more ice cream and a lot less juice, so it's almost like avocado-esque. And so to adhere to my taste buds, on my second attempt, I switched up the ratio a little bit. By the way, if you're wondering, this ice cream I got from a local plant-based ice cream shop here in Berlin. I literally just pulled up there with my lunchbox just because plain vanilla vegan ice cream is so hard to find at regular stores. But anyway, this ratio I liked a lot better. It's an interesting mix for sure, but the carrot juice really gives such a nice freshness to the ice cream. And now for my third and final attempt, I used this ice cream, which is basically a milky vanilla base with dark chocolate shavings. And now this one took me by surprise. I genuinely liked it the most. And that must be because the stracciatella was significantly sweeter than the plain vanilla. And so it balances out the tartness of the juice better, in my opinion. You could technically make your own carrot juice as well. Moving on to this extremely refreshing cherry vanilla drink based on this reel here by Drinks by Whitney, where she described it as nature's Gatorade. First, squeeze some fresh lime juice into a jar that you have a fitting lid for and that's able to hold around 2 cups or 500 milliliters of water. Next, add cherry juice, coconut water, some agave, you could do maple, whatever you like, some salt, just a pinch. I'm using fancy flaky sea salt I just bought. Next, add 2 to 3 ice cubes and some vanilla. Quite a lot of it, to be honest, but cherry and vanilla go together so well. So add the lid, make sure it's sealed and secure, shake it up until frothy. Last but not least, add a bunch more ice. And maybe some more lime to decorate this with. But there we go. Wow, okay. It makes sense with the ingredients that's in here, but it tastes sweet, sour, and salty all at the same time. It's delicious. I really like it. This last drink here is just as hydrating and fresh. It's inspired by Agua Fresca, using cucumber, mint, apple, and a bunch of lime. Simply just throw all the ingredients into a large blender. A cucumber that's roughly chopped, a green apple, also roughly chopped, the juice of no less than 3 limes, you could even do 4, some agave syrup, sea salt, some fresh mint, coconut water, and regular water. Now blend. And then strain the liquid through a fine strainer and try to get out as much liquid out of this as you can. And there we go. There's this health food restaurant chain. I don't know if it's global, but they have it in Spain and Portugal. And my drink here really reminds me of their cucumber mint drink. Honest Greens. Yeah, they don't have it in Germany, but that's okay because at least I can make this drink at home. And that concludes my drink recipes for today. This was super fun to make. I really realized in the process of making this video that I'm not having enough fun with my drinks on a regular basis. So yeah, it was a good reminder. And hi to everyone who's been newly subscribed. I see you. I hope you like it here. And if there's any specific recipes and videos you want me to make in the near future, then let me know in the comments. And that's about it from me. I hope you have a good rest of your day. Check out Sally if you're doing any traveling soon. Yeah, link to everything is down below, like I said. Anyway, I'll see you soon. Until next time. Bye!